everyone, it's Whitney, and I'm back to doing my Silent Hill 2 Let's Play. I'm sorry for the long wait. I was distracted really with my daily premonition and my Silent Hill historical website, but I'm back and I'm determined to finish this sucker. And as a treat for sticking with me in this Let's Play, even though it was like months ago, I've decided that I'm going to show you all the special secret endings, meaning I'm going to show you the rebirth ending, the dog ending, the UFO ending, and hopefully show you the best ending, the leave ending. At least that's what I'm aiming for. I even went ahead and replayed this hospital level so I could use the blue gem right here that we picked up in the beginning of the game in the bathroom. I could use this in the garden, which called forth like a UFO, and it said, "Hey!" And that's one area you need to use it in to get to the UFO ending. To recap, we lost Maria in the hospital basement. We were being chased by a red pyramid thing, and James was able to make it into an elevator. Maria was not. The doors closed before she could get inside, and she unfortunately was skewered by Pyramid Head's great knife. James was pretty upset about it. I was not, because that meant I didn't have to escort her ass anymore, and she was kind of annoying and a bitch. We found a note in the hospital director's office talking about a letter and a wrench over on Lindsay Street. And it was kind of a clue to where we need to go next. So we have to go to Lindsay Street to find this letter and wrench, and from there we're going to Rosewater Park and the Silent Hill Historical Society. Oh, and we also saw Laura leave the hospital, so she's somewhere in Silent Hill. So let's go ahead and get started once again with my Let's Play. Maria's dead. I couldn't protect her. Once again, I couldn't do anything to help. Laura's run off somewhere. Mary, what should I do? Are you really waiting somewhere for me? Or is this your way of taking... I'm gonna find Mary. It's the only thing I have left to hope for. Is this your way of taking what, James? Are you gonna elaborate on that thought there, buddy? No? Okay. Well, in this video, I'm going to spend a lot of it running around the dark streets of Silent Hill, picking up random supplies that someone was nice enough to leave on the streets, and to get that wrench and that letter. If you're playing this game, it's not necessary to go and pick up all these items. I'm just doing it because it's always better to be overstocked than understocked, I think. Really, in this game, you don't have to worry too much about your ammo. The game throws a whole bunch at you, so it's not necessary to go around collecting extra ammo. And the enemies aren't that difficult. Sure, they can kick your ass if they got you cornered. Most of the time, you just need to give them a wide berth, and you can avoid them. I like to think of this game as one of the easier Silent Hill titles. I think probably the easiest would be Shattered Memories, just because there is no combat, and the puzzles in that game were more like, oh, I need to open this door, where's the key? Oh, it's around the corner in a cupboard. Not too difficult. In terms of combat, I would say that Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill Homecoming are probably the most difficult games to play combat-wise. In Silent Hill 3, the enemies are just vicious, and they are unrelenting, and they will just come after you over and over again in these tight quarters, and you have a limited amount of ammo, and you really got to think about how to get by a lot of them. And in Homecoming, you're playing as this war veteran, Alex Shepard, and because he's a war veteran, they expect him to have all these cool moves in fighting. So he does a lot of dodges and rolls, and you're expected to dodge and then counterattack the enemies. And it involves really a watching how they attack and figuring out the best ways to pull off a counterattack to hit them. So it's very intense in that respect. So even though Silent Hill 2 isn't as intense as those games, it's still considered one of the best probably in the series by a lot of fans. And I think it has to do more with its puzzles and its story, its plot. Unlike Silent Hill in Silent Hill 3, you don't have this convoluted cult story. It's mainly centered around this one man's journey in Silent Hill, and it's pretty easy to follow in that respect. And we really do learn a lot about James and his psyche, and even the puzzles are pretty creepy, and they tie into his journey in Silent Hill. And I think that's why so many people love this game. It's deep in that respect. I also felt the same way about Shattered Memories. The plot in that game I really loved it. So I'd say my top games would go Silent Hill 1, just because I have that nostalgia factor. It was the first one I played, and I really loved it. It really cemented my love of survival horror, because I did like Resident Evil, but Silent Hill was just on a whole nother level. I really loved it. Followed by Silent Hill 2, because the story's pretty kick-ass, and Silent Hill Shattered Memories is probably my third favorite. For the same reason as Silent Hill 2, I really loved the story. Now, from what I've seen of Downpour, Downpour is looking pretty awesome. It could actually, bump Silent Hill from being my first favorite, just because it looks great, and apparently, at least according to the producers, Devin Chesky and Tom Hewlett, that's not a health drink, Downpour is going to bring the Silent Hill series back to its roots, meaning we're going to have more clumsy fighting style, no more like war veteran Alex who can dodge and roll. We're going to have lots more convoluted puzzles, and like, hey, I need this key, so let me go through 2 buildings and fight this monster to get this piece of hair to grab this key from a drain hole. Those sort of fetch quests and puzzles that involve talking about the character's psyche and whatnot. At least that's what they're promising. It's gonna be more like the old games. So if that's the case, it really could become one of my top favorites. And speaking of Downpour, E3 is coming up next month, and we should expect probably new game footage. It's a new trailer for Downpour. Konami's really stepping it up this year in terms of their coverage. They're actually holding some pre-E3 events to get some buzz for their booth and their products. I know that they're holding an event in LA and another one in San Francisco the week before E3, I think, to show off kind of like a pre-show, like what their booth's going to look like and whatnot. So we might actually get some Downpour information sooner than we expected. What's also pretty cool is they're holding a contest on the Konami Facebook fan page. They want to find the ultimate Konami fan, and they're going to give away an all-expense-paid trip to E3 to the biggest Konami fan. There's actually 3 contests going on at the same time. There's a sweepstakes contest where you just need to give your name and your email, and they will draw a name, and the winner will get a iPad 2, and I assume some Konami-related iPad games. And the other contest is for franchise specific. So there's going to be a winner for like Castlevania, Frogger, or Silent Hill. And what you need to do is just tell them what your favorite franchise is, and then write 100 words why it's your favorite. And give them your favorite character, I think, from the franchise. And then the big prize, the E3 one, for the Ultimate fan, you have to submit a photo proving that you are an Ultimate Konami fan. So let's say you had a tattoo of Pyramid Head on your shoulder. That would be a good thing you could take a picture of. Say, hey, look, I'm this dedicated. I went and got this tattoo of Pyramid Head. And what they'll do is pick the top 12 or whatever, and the rest of the Facebook fans will vote on who they think is the ultimate fan, and that winner will get the all-expense paid trip to E3. So that's pretty big. I forgot to mention the one where you write your 100 words. The prize for that is a console bundle. So you could either get a Wii with some Konami games, a PS3 with Konami games, or an Xbox, and I think another one is a DS. Oh, that's what you're looking at. I don't care about him. I actually hope I win the console bundle. I submitted my own contest entry. Oh, I'm like totally going the wrong way. Oh well. Let's go to the flower shop. I took a picture of my Silent Hill collection, and I made a collage of that along with some photos of my Heather costume from 2003 and my recent bobblehead nurse costume from Halloween last year. And I took some screen caps of my Silent Hill related websites, so like my Silent Hill Historical Society, my Silent Hill Collection website, and Silent Hill Experienced podcast website. And I made a collage and entered it. So we'll see if they think I'm cool enough to get a chance to be voted on. So yeah, I believe the contest is ending next week, or this week, Wednesday. And I totally meant to read that. Let me redo this. Okay. Or perhaps you are a fool. The truth usually betrays people. A part of that abyss is in the old society. The key to the society is in the park, at the foot of the praying woman, inside of the ground, inside of a box. To open it, I need a wrench. My patient buried it there. I knew, but did nothing. It made me uneasy to have such a thing near. I wasn't looking for the truth. I was looking for tranquility. I also saw that thing. I fled, but the museum was sealed as well. Now no one dares approach that place. If you still do not wish to stop, James, I pray to the Lord to have mercy on your eternal soul. Spooky. So that must be the hospital director letter, because before James and Maria reached the basement, we found a note from the patient who had taken the historical society key from the director and buried it. So that's a reference to that note.